A very good evening, everyone. Jeremy here from Quant Strategic Singapore, and hope you had a great weekend. It's now 22nd of November 2020, and this is our weekly recap on the STI Straits Times Index Singapore. So let's have a look at the monthly chart. We have a nice little rally going on into the end of 2020. And if you have seen my last video and the post on my blog, Quant Strategic Singapore, you would have seen that we have hit our first target on the dot at 2813 as discussed. And we are now at the crux of trying to target 3108, which is just at the base of the SSB line on the cloud. And the level that the super trend line is now sitting on. 3108, very important target, and of course, a tough nut to crack because that was the level whereby the pandemic sell off has actually started off from that level, and getting back on track to 3108 might allow the STI to get back into this trading range that he has been for quite a while, and try to make further upside to the long term downtrend of the STI. Which has started since the 2018 1st of October. All right, so watch out for targets of 2108, which will be covered in the next couple of charts that I'm going to show you. So on the weekly charts, as you can see, all right, so we have hit 2813 as discussed on the monthly targets, and right now it's a very important for price action to climb above this pivot 2746. Why is it important? Because the Ichimoku cloud technique wants price action to stay above the SSA SSB line for it to start a new uptrend. All right, so price action has to continue to move above the cloud, all right, this particular line here, and trade upwards for it to hit its next target of 3108. All right, alternatively, if there's any particular pullback, watch for a retreat to 2746. And if the price action stays within the cloud zone, then we might have a little bit of choppy trading with a little bit of ranging and indecision for a couple of weeks looking forward. So, once again, weekly charts are bullish and currently long at 2673. That's where our signal was issued on the 7th of November, beginning of the month, and we are now bullish on the weekly as well as the midterm time frames. Also, take note of the daily charts, which I'm now going to talk about, which most of you will be using. So, on the daily charts, a bullish picture on the daily charts, and as you can see, we have had a long signal beginning of the month on the 4th November 2020, and now our target is actually at 3108. Currently, price has hit 2813, and we have three support levels. So if there are any pullbacks, just take note of the first pullback level at 2738, 2586. Why I put it as a pivot is because this blue line here is the super trend line, and a break of this super trend line will have a short signal to test 2572. If this support holds, we bounce and we might be able to get higher targets up to 3108. All right, so we either bounce at 2738 or 2586. A break of 2586, you'll see weakness to the downside to test 2572. Moving down to the 4 hourly chart, where I usually do all my signals and make my trading decisions on. So on the 4 hourly chart, when we zoom in on the action, you can see price action with a nice signal on the 3rd of November 2020 at the level of 2494. So if you had actually held on and taken this particular buy signal here, you would have made yourself at least a 300-point profit, or almost 15%, matching the S&P 500 for this particular month and this lovely Santa Claus rally going into 2020. So take note of the support levels at 2779 and the pivot at 2742, because this is the super trend line. A break of this, all right, we will be testing 2651. Holding support at 2779 might be able to get more upside all the way to 3108. So pivot 2742 must hold. All right, so watch this level at 2742. So overall, for the STI, the only chart right now that's on a downtrend is the long-term charts. The weekly charts, we're trying to stay above this pivot at 2746. If price action is able to clear this particular zone, we might get higher highs. If not, then a pullback, you'll be testing all these support levels. Pivot 2586 on the dailies, as well as 2742 on the shorter term 4-hourly charts. Thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned to my blog for more information. And remember to click subscribe and click on your bell so that you get notified of the next video that I view. Have a great evening.